Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast for a brand new episode this week. We'll be covering the Lyon game, which saw get a positive result over there, ended the group very strongly, and then moving on to the draw, which we'll talk about against Borussia Dortmund, a fiery one, a really important one as well. Big game with two big sides. We'll talk about that. Hearts away, obviously, yesterday. Massive 3 points. We'll give our thoughts in detail about that game. And then moving on to the next two against St Johnstone and Dundee United, both at home, and both good times to hopefully gain another 6 points, you would hope. So we'll talk about that at the very end as well. But as always, if you could like, subscribe and share away for us, that'd be very much appreciated. So first, I know we all want to talk about the Dortmund game and all that stuff, but firstly, we need to start at Lyon. Last Thursday there, we were expecting a lot of changes. I didn't actually think there was as many changes as I said last week on here. I thought maybe Robbie McCrory, Stephen Kelly would be getting a bit of game time, but they didn't. It was nice to see who actually started the game. McLaughlin, he gets first start in Europe, which was nice to see. Patterson, defence was pretty much the same. Lundstrom, I thought had a really good game. Obviously, we had Davis on in that, but the first half was where it all sort of really happened for us. We took control around the 25-30 minute mark, and we got a goal out of it. It was great work for Kent to find Kamara. Kamara does his man, and Lundstrom, I think it was, he dummies it in the box, and it falls to Scott Wright, another man who got his opportunity, and a big goal that could be for him.
Massive goal for Scott Wright. I was really impressed with it, as I say, mate. The way we took the game to Lyon, obviously everyone's thinking it's a pretty meaningless game in terms of both teams are through, but just the fact that we took the game to them, I was fantastic. As I said to you before, usually in Europe, under Gerrard, it would sort of be a bit just sit behind maybe and just allow invite pressure on. But with Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, I'm loving it. I'm sorry we're going at them, and as we say, we're going to go talk about the Dortmund game, but I hope we do the exact same thing. We go for them. As I say, Lundstrom had a really good performance. Kamara and Ryan Kent, sensational, as I say. Lundstrom as well, as I said, fantastic. For me, there was one or two that was a bit thing with Patterson. For me, really, that was the one. I don't know if it's lack of game time or maybe just still needing to adapt with the game, but either way, it was still a good performance for the young lad. But overall, I was very proud of the team and the performance they put in.
Nah, it's exact same as me. You matched Lyon all over the park, regardless of who they had in the park as well. They had a lot of sort of youngsters out in that, but they had quality within it as well. Toko Ekambi obviously caused us a lot of problems, and he's caused the full Europa League a lot of problems over the past few years. He done well, and then obviously went off, so it was happy to see him go. Shaqiri, Cherki, I thought was really good for a teenager as well. He provided a lot of problems, scored the goal. They went in off Bassi. And I just think Lyon, they're a good side. You've seen their bench who they could bring on. They bring on Slimani and stuff like that. So really good result to go over there. And it's a win, I think. If Gerrard was still in charge, I don't think we would have got, to be honest. I think maybe they went overly and get rattled. But it's a case of a new manager coming in. The players are playing a different style, and it sort of suits us in Europe. And there was times we could have went up and scored the winning goal as well, but it just wasn't to be, and it was just sort of typical end of the group game. But it was good to see us go over there with travelling fans and that, and put in a really strong performance. And I heard the Van Bronckhorst interview anyway. He was very, very proud of that. So good strides in Europe. 2 games and he's unbeaten and all over. He's full Rangers career, he's unbeaten. But the European record is good for him as a start anyway. And then moving on to the draw that came with that, we were all eagerly anticipating, watching, waiting for them to go over all the crap about the Europa League history. And we finally got the draw. Barcelona were pulled out the hat. I was praying, please give us Barca. Like that's a really good tie for us. RB Leipzig, obviously, before that, Zenit. There was a lot of tough teams in there, but eventually it was Borussia Dortmund. Probably the toughest, if not second, third toughest in that. A strong favourite to go and win the competition, and it's just an absolute glamour tie. Can't wait for February, to be honest, to see the talent they've got to offer as well, and see Rangers as well go over to the Signal Iduna Park and play in one of a very iconic venue. So looking forward to it, and I know you are as well.
Buzzing mate. As I said to you when it get announced, these are the games we want. This is the exact game that you want in terms of the level that we're hoping to be at next season. Teams that we're hoping to play. big superstars like Haaland coming over. He's going to get pocketed by my boy Calvin Bassey if he's playing that night. But no, I'm really excited for it as well. The atmosphere for both sets of fans, it's going to be electric tie, Jack. As you said, when Barcelona get pulled out, I was praying. I thought, please, when Leipzig get pulled out, I thought, I'm all right with that. I don't need that, sorry. But no, with Dortmund, it's going to be a difficult game, but I'm excited. As I said, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst has been nothing but positive man in Europe for me. As I said to you, that game on Thursday, we just went for it, and I like that. Mostly, we're going to have to be a bit aware, as I say, big man up top. I'm really excited to see how the defence is going to handle him, to be honest with you. Just to see him at Ibrox with Morelos, are you mad?
That's exactly the thing. Like, you've got superstars coming to Ibrox. Like, this is exactly the kind of tie you want to play in. Like, I'm buzzing to see players like Jude Bellingham, Haaland in the flesh. Hummels, obviously, for years going back, has been a really good defender in past times.
Marco Reus as well.
Marco Reus, of course, loved by, I think, everybody in football. Just a player that everybody seems to like. And then they've got youngsters coming through, Emre Can and all that's already there. So a really strong team, Borussia Dortmund have. They're second in that league as well, just narrowly beaten as well by Munich a few weeks ago. So it's going to be tough when the tie comes around. You're hoping your Hollanders, Baloguns are all back, because I feel that looking at it right now, although the game's not for 3 months, we need to stay in the game when it comes to the first leg, because they could just be like, right, we're going to go and batter Rangers this leg, so we don't have to worry about going to Ibrox and getting anything. That's where we'll need to stand up and maybe be more defensive, maybe play a 5 at the back, because it's going to be tough. We're going to need to really defend, come away with maybe a draw, 1-0, or the worst case scenario, 1 or 2-0 to Dortmund, and then we can hopefully get something for Ibrox. But it's going to be a tough one. I'm really looking forward to it. And Celtic fans and whoever else, Chris Sutton in the media saying, oh, maybe they'll want to redraw the Europa League again for Rangers getting Dortmund. Nah, I'm embracing it. It's a big challenge for everybody. I'm sure that's going to be an attraction for players as well, coming to play in that tie. When Gio gets his players in January, which I didn't really even think about. Like, there might be new players there that are going to experience their first European night against Borussia Dortmund, and that's going to be one that will make you fall in love with the club.
Absolutely. I mean, if you don't fall in love with the club before you sign, then definitely in that tie you will. I think there's one important player, Jack, that we need to talk about, a certain young American. I think we should talk about.
Giovanni Reina, of course, gets his name from Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, Claudio Reina, and him played in the same team all the way back, I don't know, early 2000s maybe. And he's called Giovanni after the manager. So a weird sort of wee hang there, and he's going to finally meet his real dad, eh?
Well, I guess he is. No, but it's the same with the game, definitely. Especially first leg for me. I think it's probably about just maybe if we can get a draw, we can get a positive result either way. Who knows? Might turn up. Ryan Kent, as I said, Thursday, put a bit of a masterclass off. He might decide, you know what, I'm going to do it on the big stage here as well. But the Ibrox game is a massive one, as I say. That's the biggest one for me. It's depending on the first leg of the result. You never know, Jack. I have hope, I have faith, as you say. I wouldn't want redrawn against MD. I'm happy with the tie we've got. It's showing the players the level that they're going to have to be at for the following season if we are in Champions League football. Very top level. So, well, I mean, you could say sports entertainment now, I guess, couldn't you? I mean, with the way the draw was done today, but we'll talk about that some other time.
There's going to be interesting battles all across the field, albeit they're still at the clubs in January. Like, you've got Aribo maybe against Emre Can or Dahoud Bellingham in there, Kamara as well. Like, there's going to be really good battles across the field that will show how good our players are compared to them.
Definitely, and one player for me that I'm really hoping turns up if he does get selected in either legs of the game for me is Giannis. I really want to, because this is a level I think a lot of people really hope Giannis Hadji can be it, and probably, let's be honest, he probably will be it. I just feel like these are big games, and I think he'll definitely want to turn up. As I say, everyone will turn up, hopefully, you know what I mean, on the day, on whoever gets selected. As you say, new players, I didn't even think about that. New players coming in the door, you never know. Hopefully, I mean, I'd like to see a couple of new faces, see kind of players Gio and his staff rate, and players they don't rate going out the door. Our videos will be coming back soon, I hope, Jackie boy, with you doing the research.
Of course.
I'm just buzzing for the tie, mate, to be honest with you. If it wasn't Dortmund, I'd have took Barca, as I say, but
exactly. Need to aim high in these kind of things, and that's probably something that Van Bronckhorst will be looking at as players that can help him through this tie, that are going to be good enough to come up against a Borussia Dortmund now. We've got it set in stone. He's got the full January window to try and get players in. So I back him, and hopefully he gets the right players in.
So if we win this game, do you think he'll be dancing in the stadiums and knowing the streets like he is on TikTok?
No, I know. I've seen that video floating about. I actually thought it was him at first, but I would love to. It's going to be, if we get a result at Ibrox and end up going through, that's going to be like a momentous occasion for everybody.
Then we get Sheriff and get beat. Aye.
Oh, well, why Sheriff? Who did they end up getting? I seen they were in.
I don't even know. Was it Lazio or something like that?
Because no after we get Dortmund, I was just sitting on Twitter, just typing away. I wasn't actually looking at the rest of the draw. So,
Barca and Napoli, that's a good game. I fancy Napoli for that one. I think they're on top form this season, pushing for the league title. Barcelona are shambolic, really. They've got to clear a lot of dead wood. I don't know why man's touched that job, but it's interesting at the moment with Barca.
It's interesting to see what will happen, but we'll need to park this up until February, and then when this one comes back around, I'm sure we'll go into a lot of detail about it. So it's something really exciting to look forward to anyway. Moving on to yesterday then, Hearts away. Always a tough game. Every time we go to Tynecastle, we always seem to struggle. Whether the Hearts are top of the league, bottom of the league, wherever, we always struggle. Going there with them being unbeaten in the league at home, with them being quite consistent this season as well. Obviously had a point to prove after being demoted last season. They've come up, they've done well. And I thought it was going to be a really tough game, but with 13 minutes in, I was dancing about the house and just typing about Gio-Ball on Twitter, because what an opening sort of 15 minutes that was. We could have been 3-4 up if we took the extra couple of chances, but to weather the first storm, Boyce was through. He had the chip. I thought it was going in. McGregor saved it. They had another couple of chances, and then we burst up the park with our first shot and we score. And then the second goal was just out of this world class. For Goldson, Aribo, the fact that he can even spot him is mental. And Aribo just he takes it well, and that's pretty much your opening 15 minutes. We were probably the best I've seen us all season.
I would definitely. It's definitely one of them up there for me. Definitely, Connor Goldson always loves to play that ball as well. Throughout the last season, and for the majority of his time at Rangers, he loves to play that big long ball. If he wasn't a footballer, he'd probably be a decent rugby player, to be honest with you, the way he punts it. But fantastic for Gio-Ball. Obviously, we're going to talk about Joe and all that, but for me, yesterday, Fashion Sincala was just unreal, man. I just thought he had a real top game. Even when he get slided into the barricades, still smiling. Still smiling. I love the guy, honestly.
He's a guy that's really come on since that sort of hat trick. Been getting his first starts, and he's starting the majority of the games now. He's a real part of the squad, and an exciting part of the squad as well, because even for the first goal, I mean, he glides past, I think it's Stephen Kingsley, just glides past him, picks out Morelos, and it's perfect. I think the front three as a whole actually worked outstanding yesterday. Exactly what you need. I think you maybe lack it a wee bit with Hadji on that side. But the two of them have got blistering pace and skill to get by MD, and Morelos is in the box just like the first goal to put it into the net. But I thought the three of them were outstanding, and Morelos I thought had a really, really good game yesterday himself.
Top shift for Morelos. Top shift for the boy, honestly. Start till he took it off. Even at the end, mate, with the celebrations, I loved it. I was jumping about, but I thought he put a real shift in. A majority of them, for me, were right at it. As I say, even something like Barisic for me showed a warrior performance, honestly. That, as I said to you, that tackle, that for me was a red card, obviously, in the second half for me. That's a straight red card, and then the boy's reaction. That was the daft that was going on about the penalty. I don't know what planet he was in when he kicked the ball and he was looking for a penalty or what have you, but he was a bit off. But I thought Hearts were really do look exciting on the attack for me. They do look...
On another day, there could have been many goals for them, I mean.
Then I think they just throw the toys out the pram. As soon as they're getting beat, I feel like they have no backup plan really. It's just came in with the big hefty tackles, and quite a few of them were lucky to stay in the park from you really. But I was really impressed, as I said, we compared Thursday's performance with the weekend's performance there. It was just, for me, two different performances. I said, one where we were taking the game to Lyon, and then the other performance where we were 2 up. And let's see how we handle this, because we know for this season so far it hasn't been good enough. And for me, it was fantastic. It was a champion's performance from start to the finish for me. I couldn't believe that we were up 2-0. Are you kidding me on?
No.
A ground that we've struggled at so many times, and we've turned up, we've made it look like a training session. I mean, everyone for me yesterday was on the ball.
Credit to everybody for making that a thing. And then I just feel we're so much more defensively solid when it comes to Van Bronckhorst and his teams. Like, what, two goals conceded in 6-7 games? I mean, it's some feat to even do that, because the games he's come into, like Slavia Prague, Livingston away, Hibs away, Hearts away, Lyon away, and we've only conceded 2 goals. I mean, that's some task to be able to do with a squad that looked down and out when it was that Hibs semi-final. So he's picked the players up and he's gave them a boost. And with every moment that passes, I just thank Steven Gerrard for leaving the club, to be honest with you, because he was holding us back this season. Look at the levels we reached in that first 20-25 minutes there. Like, that is unbelievable. We're just on Hearts every second, winning the ball back high up the pitch and going to try and do something. The only thing that's maybe lacking is the final ball at times. It's when it gets to Sakala or something like that, he picks the wrong pass. You can tell he's a bit raw, and he's still trying too much. But
Morelos did that yesterday, I know, in the first half, just at the end. I think it was Ryan Kent, he was making a run through on goal, but he passed out wide. And then Sakala plays at Kent and he's offside. I think that pass was a bit angry. But as I say, the final third pass maybe needs to be improved a bit more. But so far, this is just Gio just starting with him. A full season with him, a pre-season. I'm buzzing for it, to be honest with you. I say, I already feel like the energy levels in terms of when we move how we move the ball, and what I say is it's so much better. It's not sloppy at all. It's clean passing. Even the decision making, we're actually talking to each other on the park now. Everyone's mouthing off to each other. I can't remember what had happened, but my boy Calvin Bassey saying, "Hey, Al McGregor, what am I supposed to do?" Tavernier as well, him and Connor Goldson going at it. That is the one thing I want to ask you as well. Obviously, I know he almost scores another own goal, but see there, for me, the goalkeeper needs to be screaming at him. He's only doing that to cover, because he might not know the keeper's got it covered, but it ricochets off the bar, obviously. But
he got lucky.
McGregor needs to be screaming. I think he needs to be screaming, "I've got this covered."
I know, because it could have ended up in the net. I thought it was in the net, actually, with Boyce in the line and all, and it somehow just bounced away for everybody. But I agree that McGregor maybe should do better to command the area, so Bassey doesn't need to take a risk and maybe score an own goal. But on Bassey, I mean, for he's played in centre half, he's been absolutely phenomenal. Like, maybe that is his position now. I don't know if he's a left back anymore. Is he a centre back? Like, I thought he's been great, and it's his position to lose now. You've probably got Balogun coming back in the next week or so, which is a really big boost for everybody, taking the pressure off with the amount of games, and he might want to rotate with Bassey and Balogun, which is a nice luxury to have. But it's Bassey's position to lose. Even when Hollander comes back, Hollander's probably our best defender. Bassey is still first choice for me, because this has probably been the hardest period of games we've had, and we've went through a manager change within it, and he's playing out of position. And he's performed like that. Like, he's been unlucky a couple of times with the own goal and that, and maybe yesterday had a couple of times where boys get in too easily. But he's been great.
That's what I was about to say, mate. Playing against somebody like Liam Boyce, who is a difficult striker to handle. So for me, you're looking at some of the performances as we're talking about. That's only going to benefit him massively for experience level. As I say, when he first played there, me and you both said he's never a centre half.
No,
but maybe it was the management. You never know. He's performing under Gio. Anyway, that's the main thing. I mean, you could say with Balogun coming back, he maybe comes into the side. But for me, if he's going to drop him to centre half, it maybe would be Connor Goldson. You never know. I do feel like Goldson deserves credit. As I say, fantastic ball he played yesterday, and overall for his game is fantastic. Goldson and McGillar have really performed for me.
Goldson is obviously his comments after that semi-final were still there and all that, but since Gio's come in, he's a different player. He has been just a warrior in the defence. He's that leader that Bassey needs next to him. Like, I don't know how Bassey would have fared if it was next to Balogun or something like that. I think Goldson is the perfect partner for Bassey to learn off at centre half. And yesterday again, he was just everywhere, heading out everything, booting everyone away, defending well as a unit as well. And then, I mean, they passes across the field seem to work. I mean, they look perfect, and everything Gio's tried to implement with the midfield runners going ahead. I mean, Arfield found himself in a position as well. It's working well, and speaking about Arfield again. I'm loving his new role at the moment. I thought he was down and out, but he probably should have had a hat trick yesterday. Is his only complaint? I thought again another assured performance.
He should have had 3 or 4, mate. Especially that one where Morelos does all the hard work and then just lays it on a plate for him. All he's got to do is put it in the net. He needs to. He could have dummied it and then popped it in the net, but he's just went for it dead quick. Aye, and the other one, I know he needs to. I think he needs to bury it in the top corner.
He's probably the wrong person to find in that position right enough. One-on-one with obviously Craig Gordon's a top keeper. He narrows the angle for him, so it's maybe you're wanting somebody else to be in that position, but.
No, that's what I was about to say as well. Somebody say Joe Aribo's goal, fantastic, but to do it as I say, into a goalkeeper like Craig Gordon, who is a top goalkeeper on his day, I mean, it's fantastic. But overall, it's just fantastic with the performance. As I said, to defend the 2-0 lead, I don't think under Gerrard we would have really done that, to be honest with you. No, when we've went there, the back of the mind would be struggling.
But new manager also there. that aid of confidence that comes with that as well. We're 2-0 up. I never thought for a minute we're going to go and lose this game. Like, if we would have went 2-3-4-0 up against Gerrard, I still creeped into my mind that we might lose here. We went 2-0 up. We defended well. We used the ball well. We created chances when we could. And I thought it was just perfect. Bringing on Lundstrom right as well, give you the opportunity as well. So
superb. See, when John Lundstrom came on, he was fantastic. And as I said to you, I just think I've seen Alan McGoy say he's still to prove or something with the BT game. The Thursday's game, and I thought, what are you on about? Lundstrom has been fantastic. See, when he's come in, see, just to be like, right, I want you on for the last 5-10 minutes just to shore up the lead and all that.
He's done his job.
He's been since I've enjoyed watching Lundstrom play, man. He's been fantastic.
Aye, and again on Thursday as well. He's probably next up for a start, to be honest, because he's chatting on the door, and he didn't really have much game time under Van Bronckhorst at the start as well, but he's been used in the right way, I think, at the moment. Obviously, due a start, as we say, but he brought on to shore that midfield up, give a bit of steel in the midfield when you're trying to defend the lead. I think he's perfect to do that, and I just love the guy. I think he's a cracking football player, just a good personality, just in the club. And I seen the video on Twitter where he was noising up some of the Hearts fans as well, going over the tunnel. So you can't not love John Lundstrom. But yesterday, I think going into the game, I was nervous. We have them that lied on the game. We're 4 points clear. We need to win this game because there's a certain club over the other side of Glasgow that are banking on us getting beat or dropping points here. And I mean, we just done the business. And that's what we need to continue doing game after game, is just doing the business. And we're going to these hard venues and we're doing it.
As I say to you, mate, we welcome the chase. Come on, please. I welcome it. But as I said, for me, the officiating was shocking, man. Somebody obviously he did get it on Hingme, but that one on Barisic for me was the one that really annoyed us, because the boy did it again to Lundstrom as well, and I thought, do you not even give him a yellow card for the whole situation with Barisic? For me, was a bit bang out. Obviously, that boy tries to start with him. I don't know why he was even getting involved, because Barisic and that other lad sorted it out then and there. It was just straight up, shake your hand, move on, mate. But for me, it was a red card, that tackle anyway. But no, that boy was lucky to be on the part. And obviously, that Dafty went off. Probably, I couldn't understand why that guy came over.
His 2 yellow cards were laughable, because he went, I think he thought his shot took a deflection.
That's what I was on about.
Out for a corner, and he goes up to the ref, gets booked, and then he's not even involved in the incident, and he runs over and tries to start it well on a yellow card, and he gets sent off. If I was Robbie Nielsen, I'd be fining that guy, to be honest.
It's not even that. See, I thought he was looking for a penalty with the first one, but if it was a corner, it was a corner he was looking for. It didn't even hang me, but it was the way he ran up to the referee for the first one. Squared go right up into his face, and I thought, is that not really just a red card then and there, the way that he's approached the official? But they're definitely getting involved with the whole Barisic one. It was a definite red, and obviously Andy Halliday would have went into the right changing room at the end of the game and would have been celebrating, of course.
Of course.
Aye. But no, listen, I know you're going on about Celtic there. Don't bother me in the slightest. I've seen everyone's going on about the Tony Watt one with the penalty.
Aye, you've seen it on Twitter and that, aye.
Aye, I see everyone's going on about that. I mean,
as long as we keep winning, it's the main thing, to be honest with you. Don't need to worry about it.
Jack, that's all I'll say. The clock is ticking down. That's all I'm saying.
Aye, 100%. But aye, good victory at Hearts. Keeps us at the same position we were. We're still 4 points at clear at the top of the league. Good position to be in going into this tough period. And we've got 3 home games in a row now, which is the perfect time to go and gain maximum points going into Aberdeen and Celtic away after that. So firstly, St Johnstone on Wednesday. you predicted it. St Johnstone have fell off a cliff. They have not been able to get back their players that they lost. Their Jason Kerr, Ali McCann were vital to that team. I feel sorry for Callum Davidson because he's not been given the opportunity to go and find his own players to replace him. But they're poor in terms of they can't score goals, they can't keep them out, so they're bottom in the league.
Well, I mean, call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things, Jack. I'm sorry. I said it. I just knew it. They were going to fall off a cliff, as I said. I knew people were going to come in, especially for that wee midfielder. Where did he go to? What, Preston?
Preston, he's at, aye.
Aye. A wee fantastic wee footballer. And then obviously the centre half, they've lost to Wigan as well. So, I mean, I knew people were going to come in for their players because it was a fantastic season for them, as I say, to do the double in terms of the cups and what have you. And you do feel sorry for Callum Davidson a bit, but at the end of the
you've
day,
been able to talk to the guy in person. You've spoke with him after winning the cup, so he's a
likeable
guy to me.
I do feel sorry for him, but then I've seen what car he's got, so I don't really feel that sorry for him. But no, he's a sound guy, by the way. He's a sound guy and somebody that, even if he potentially loses his job or whatever, he still should be looked at to be getting a top job, I would say, in the Scottish division anyway.
I think looking at that Hibs job as well, he could do exciting things with a Hibs team.
Definitely.
you never know.
Was Robbie Fowler not getting that? Were they not trying to go and get a scout?
That's what I've heard, aye.
Do you know what I mean? Aye. But interesting that one. Obviously, no managing out in Dubai or something.
Aye, India, I think it was actually.
India?
Aye, where Greg Stewart is.
My boy, we'll save him for the end. But
we'll save it for
the end. It's going to be, as you say, three home games in a bunch. So
yeah, aye.
It's positive, mate. As I say, that's what you want, and it's just adding more points to the table. A couple of rotations, maybe, as you said, Lundstrom maybe getting a start in there would be nice to see. My boy Bakuna, I need the guy to play. I know I've seen people try to game stick for losing possession a couple of times and what have you, but
look how positive he was in Lyon. Like he was trying stuff.
Exactly, and we were unlucky not to score again.
Like he was playing up front for a point in that game where he had balls going into him. And you were like, if it was somebody else here, we would have probably scored. But unfair.
If it was Morelos, it's in the net.
Aye, but I'm still, for what I saw for Bakuna, I was excited. And I just want to see more of the guy, hopefully getting a start as well. So maybe some game time coming in for him in this St Johnstone game. I do think there'll be rotation in the side. I think Lundstrom will start the game. I think it's the perfect opportunity to go and give him a start. He's been knocking on the door.
So is this the time where you're going to give us your prediction for who's going to start, and then they don't start? But
right, this is my prediction. Right, McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Bassi, Barisic. It's going to be that probably. Lundstrom, Kamara, Aribo. Perfect. I'll take that all day. Morelos, Kent, and Yanis Hadji will come back in. I feel.
I think I don't really.
Or do you just stick with the same front three that started that game and just go and absolutely destroy?
You've got to. You've got to for me. I said to you, it's exciting. All three of them playing together, it's exciting. And I mean, that three lining up against Dortmund would be fantastic for us. But lining up against Johnstone, it's even better because all three of them could potentially get a goal, which is a positive thing. But no, I don't know. To bring Yanis back in, I think that would be a negative, really, to be honest with you. He's not got the pace to play out there. I like him right in the middle of the park, popping the ball about.
But then he did play in the middle of the park in Lyon, and I thought he was poor. But then he plays on the right as well, and I think he's just lacking pace. So I think the problem for Yanis Hadji at this moment is where do you play him? Where is his best position? Because we've tried him in different places and not really worked out like we liked. But I think it's obvious Gio rates him. He started him there enough every game. He's been in charge. So I think maybe missing out at the weekend, not even getting on the pitch for a sub, I think Hadji is the one to come back in more realistically.
Listen, if you're going to say Yanis there, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go and put my man Scott Wright forth. Get a goal against Lyon. Potentially a good game, as you say, bottom of the league. Maybe a chance for him to come in and show that he can do the job, do the business.
Exactly. I think it is. Lundstrom and Wright were really good in that Lyon game. Wright getting the goal, came on against Hearts, the both of them. Maybe a good opportunity to go and try the both of them out. Never know. I think Dundee United at the weekend again is another opportunity to go and do that if we get the right result on Wednesday. But I am just excited by the whole vibe of the club at the moment. Big Europeans on, game in the horizon. We're winning games. The football's good. It's exciting. And we're all just sort of embracing this new era, which is great for everybody involved. I'm looking forward to be at Ibrox on Wednesday. after obviously a certain something comes out in the morning. But hopefully 3 points, and hopefully we just blow St Johnstone away.
Hopefully, that's the main thing, as I say, getting the 3 points, adding more points onto the table. I was about to say about Hingway as well. I know you were on about what's his name? It's just loaded my mind there. You were on about Hadji coming in. What about Patterson? I like the idea of playing Patterson there as well. That's something I want to see Patterson when the next these 3 games, maybe get 1 or 2 starts as well. That'd be nice to see.
It would be.
It's the same, mate. 3 points is the main thing. 3 points to see.
Hopefully, we start the game like we did against Hearts and we get a lot of early goals in the first half, which means I always look, as I say, always look at the players warming up, and you've got that luxury of them coming on if you're a couple of goals up and they finally get their chance. So it'd be nice to maybe see Patterson get some more game time. He had a sort of torrid time in Lyon, but maybe to start further forth, maybe in the midfield or something like that. Try something new, see if it works out. If it doesn't, it gets Patterson more game time, which is the main thing anyway. But I think you'll see maybe a couple of rotations in the lineup, and then again for Dundee United, maybe something similar.
Maybe something similar. You never know. He might just stick with the winning team at the moment, as I say. That's what I like. I like just sticking with the winning team. But obviously, these kind of games, you could rotate. But you never know. You never know, mate. As I say, the main thing is we get the points. We get ourselves really far ahead advantage with the points on the board. That's the main thing for me.
That's the main thing. And then moving on to Dundee United straight after that as well, Saturday. Nice to have 2 home games in a week at Ibrox. Won't complain about that any day. But Dundee United, only team to beat us in 56 league games, which is still haunting to this day because they are horrible at the moment. They're not buying a win at the moment. And they've been getting ripped apart. Levy going and beat them in their own pitch as well. So Tam Coates is sort of under a wee bit of pressure now, I think, to maybe lose his job, even though he's had them up there all season. Maybe under a bit of pressure now. He comes to Ibrox, and it should only be us winning the game. We need to go and take the game to Dundee United and do the exact same thing we're going to do against St Johnstone, is just go and blow them away. We've got the players there that have shown and can do it. And the team I've picked for this one, similar again. I think that obviously the back 5 will stay the same. Right. Davis comes back in. I think Davis has just sort of been kind of thrown to the side a wee bit. Arfield's that new guy in the block. I wouldn't be worried about seeing Arfield or Davis, but I think maybe Davis gets a start. And then I think Kamara, Aribo, and then that front 3, Kent, Morelos and Sakala will play again. Maybe back to that. But I can see maybe Davis coming in for that one.
Interesting. I like your thinking. It's interesting, I guess. I know. Davis has sort of just been discarded, put to the side into a bit. I mean, I'm feeling it for the guy. I do like hearing the song at the sidelines, but it'd be nice to see him playing on the park now. I think Lunchstone deserves a couple of starts for me personally. The guy's attitude's been fantastic so far. And his postman seems to think he's all right as well. So that's another bonus. But I want to beat these lot. I tell you, I know. That's another one that bugs me, obviously, for the defeat and how awful the football was that day. No. So it would be nice to get out there and score a good 3 or 4. Really slay that dragon. How's the guy going to lose his job? What about something on the table? They're not 4th or 5th?
I think they're 4th, but I don't think they've got a win in 7. I don't know what Dundee United are expecting, right enough. But he's under a lot of pressure at the moment.
For what? What are Dundee United going to do?
He's already got them up there. That's what I'm saying.
You mean that in the most respectful way? Do you know what I mean? What are they going to do? They're not going to win the league. Maybe you could potentially get a wee cup run if you follow a part of the. Maybe if you look at the tactics board and you go, just copy Callum Davison, what he did. You never know. You could maybe get a wee cup run. But what are they going to do? It's the same with Livingston. I think Davy Martindale deserves some credit. But they know rock bottom down there and all. And now they're starting
I think they'd won a game in the first 5 and they've been able to go and beat Celtic, beat Hibs, narrowly beat by Hearts, and they've went and beat Dundee United away from home. Martindale always gets that rise out his players at this time of the year.
Do you know why, Jack? Because they all had snowball fights and they realised how much fun it really is throwing snowballs. That's why they're starting to win.
That game a couple of weeks ago, I know. But again, he's he gets that rise out of Livy players. It's now up to Tam Coates. He's still a young manager, of course, to see if he can then...
That's a bit harsh to sack him, but
he can build on what he done at the start of the season. I think it is harsh as well. I will agree, but we'll see what happens with him. And then that game's obviously after the Wednesday one. So all focus is on St Johnstone at the moment, but obviously have to cover that Dundee United one as well. So I think that's us covered, Evan. If you want to go and add something,
there's two things I want to cover. Number one, this is what I really wanted to talk to you about. I just think we have to talk about it. I've seen a lot of people sort of really giving up on him and maybe saying it's time to let him go. My boy Ryan Jack, what are we thinking? What are we feeling?
I thought after his long set off where he had the surgery and all that, and we heard that it was all clear, he's ready to go. He was in the squad. I mean, for Ross County onwards, he's been available, and then all of a sudden he's just away again. I think this is going to be a recurring problem for Ryan Jack, and it's one that we're going to need to say with a heavy heart. I think it might be time. I think it might be time. I love Ryan Jack as much as anybody. I think he's a top player. He's a top international player as well. But if he's not going to be fit, realistically, should we be keeping him out of the club just because everything he's done in that? I love the guy, but it might just be time.
That's a fair point. Listen, I'm like my boy John. Never give up. No, but if you're looking at it, if you're on the board, I think you're looking at it and you're thinking yourself, right, he's too injury prone, and the money we're paying him, maybe if that's the way the board would think, you could maybe get angry. I personally don't think Gio rates him. I'll be honest with you. I don't think Gio wants him. I think Gio wants a young midfielder. I say that, but then he's playing Davis, he's playing Arfield, and he's playing Lundstrom. But I don't know if Gio really wants an injury hanging. Me personally, I wouldn't give up on the guy. I believe in him. I think when he plays on his day, he can be fantastic. As I say, countless performances beforehand, he's shown us why. Instantly pick out the 1-0 Old Firm game. That is a goal that will always be special, Ryan Jackie boy.
He's a top player. He is. He's just top something player that epitomises everything that we are.
Sorry to cut you in there. The only thing that bugs me, stop with Instagram posts about family films and all that, bro. Just watch the film. Stop with it. I don't know.
No. Because he's not on the pitch, he can't put anything up. But no, I do feel sorry for the guy. He's had obviously a long layoff, and then he came back and get injured. It's hard to take, I must think. But hopefully it's not anything too serious and he's back in the fold soon. But it's a tight position to be in with the midfield is so stocked.
Exactly. It's the midfield is stocked. And we've said that before with him. Hopefully he's not out for that long, and then he's out for half the year. Do you know what I mean? It's heartbreaking. I felt so sorry for the guy. Although, as a Rangers fan, you may think yourself, don't be going on the international duty. But then you seen it, do you know what I mean, and how much it meant to him to go and play for the international. You miss out on that tournament, and that was heartbreaking for the guy.
Especially for it to be like the first one for Scotland in so long. He was picked, and then he picks up an injury. That must have been really tough. And then he sat out all the last games of the season and all that. Sat out the start of this season. He must be thinking at the time, look, I could have offered something on the park as a footballer. You must think that if you're out injured. So I do feel sorry for Ryan Jack. It's one I hope is not too serious as his first injury he had all the way, obviously, through this season and that. But I don't know, man. I think it might be, if it's a long sort of time, I think it might be time, aye.
I mean, I don't want to give up on the guy, as you're saying, because he does epitomise everything for me anyway. But you never know, mate. As I say, there's been players who maybe we don't have an emotional connection with that have been injury prone and we've just thought, let them go. But at the end of the day, all that matters is that my boy Brandon Barker rips Dortmund up in February and we go through, and that's all that matters. But no, let's go into serious business now. Greggy Stewart, tell me what's going on.
4-2 defeat.
4-2
but he got an assist.
Well, that's a positive.
I mean, he's starting off in the Indian Super League and he's on fire. A couple of assists, couple of goals, but his team lost. So Greg Stewart obviously having a mix of times over there, but I'm sure he's enjoying the pay packet at the end of the week anyway.
I'm hoping he's probably the weather and all. Be nice weather over there, wouldn't it? Christmas time.
Must be. If we ever get him on the podcast, I mean, you're live for India, so you see how the connection holds up with that.
Get him with the great Cali, eh?
Nah, but Greg Stewart. Hopefully, I win for him next week. Hopefully. But I think that's everything. We've covered the draw. We've covered what else?
Like and subscribe to the podcast, Jack. That's
Of
what's
course.
the one more thing. That's what the people need to do. They need to like and subscribe.
Of course, like, subscribe, share about for us if you enjoy it. It's very much appreciated as always. And we'll be back next week, hopefully covering a couple of more victories and more positive times at Ibrox. So we'll see you then.